What's up, my people? What's up, my people? And welcome to the All Black All the Time podcast. I'm your humble host, Umoja. And today we're going to talk about what's going on in America, per usual. And it's going to be from a black perspective, per usual. And I was thinking about what the title, and the only thing I could think about was like when white men catch a cold, black people catch pneumonia. But what we're going to do today is talk about how when like America has caught a cold, and per usual, black people, we have COVID. Let me explain. So as of November, starting next month, a bunch of cuts is about to be happening. I'm talking about in terms of food stamps. The government is still shut down. First of all, still the government is still shut down, and it's not looking like no deal is being made anytime soon. But that could change in a matter of seconds, like right now, right? How they worked. But along with the government shutdown, the stuff that's going on, if you don't know, with the food stamps and the TANF and the SNAP benefits and stuff like that. They're making it harder for people to qualify. They're making stricter work requirements, like you have to get a job. You have to, I don't know the program, but I know that back in the day you had to like put in job searches. You had to, and there was different levels. Some people paid $8, some people paid none, and you could put money in a pot and everything else. But they making all that stuff hard. SNAP benefits is being delayed because of the federal government shutdown. Apparently, they welfare and our benefits, which again, I don't know all the ins and outs of it. And I do know how it can affect you because what they're doing, that data, they're using that for some sort of census. You could believe that your name is going in some kind of pot as let's say a less fit American. I would say we already know DEI is under attack. It's something that doesn't get it's interesting how I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. The most person I hear talking about is actually a comedian. He's mentioned it several times on his show, talking about how black women since Trump's been in office, about 350,000 black women in corporate America, like big time jobs, have lost their job, corporate and federal. I don't know if it's corporate or federal, excuse me, because I don't want to get it wrong, right? But I know it's about 350,000 black women has lost their jobs since the Trump administration has came in, like DEI cuts and stuff like that. And nobody's seem to be talking about that. It's really interesting. I don't know why, but it's really interesting. And the question that because I was talking to some of my brothers this morning, and as we was talking about politics. I have to go back to let me explain. Let me explain my thought process. Whenever there's a black problem, I think about the black solution, right? I believe that the ultimate solution is for us to get away from these people. Hard stop. I mean, it's not rocket science. I can go so far into that. But when I say that, people, I don't know what y'all think. I feel like your algorithm goes crazy because you start saying all kind of crazy stuff. We can't all leave. Well, what about my family? Well, what? We built this place. It goes, you just literally have this short circuit in your spirit when somebody talks about getting away from the same people you say are the devil, the same people who you say racist, the same people who you say are the patriarchy. But when somebody says, let's get away from them, all of a sudden it seems like we make an excuse why it's okay to be around them. We want to try to parent them. We want to try to teach them about how evil they are, all the while trusting them in power. And people like me get called crazy, or even worse, say that we're trying to run. Nah, I think it's just that we don't want to be nobody's bitch perpetually, indefinitely. But that's another thing for another day, apparently. What I really want to focus on is again the systems that we already have in place and that we could be using. And one of the biggest ones that just scooped under the rug, we just completely let play in our face, is the Congressional Black Caucus. The Congressional Black Caucus. I'm talking about since 1971. They've been there. You know what they was called when it was first instituted? They was called the Consciousness of Congress. That's what they was called. And it was years ago now, several years ago now. I did a personal research on them. I went to their webpage. I went to see because before I started talking, I was like, "Wow, I don't know," So I went to do research for myself, and what I found disturbed me in a major way because when I say every, I'm confident that just about every initiative, every effort, every stern letter written to the president, none of it was about just black people. Everything, even the language and the writing was black people and all people, all people of color, black and brown people. Now, it wouldn't be a problem, but see, thinker, let's look at the Hispanic Congressional Congress. They have one. Let's look at the Pacific Islander. They have something like that, right? You know what they're saying? We're here for the Hispanic heritage, the Hispanic community from here in Spain, not black, brown, the natives. We're here for the natives, and just for the native people. The Asians, Pacific Islander, we're here for the Pacific Islander, the ancestors of the Anthropos. Literally, every one of them. And it's only us who says everybody. We're for everybody. We're going to use our genius for everybody else. Meanwhile, we're still going to be sitting here dominated and getting our asses kicked on every level. And when I say dominated and asses kicked, I think especially the men, we think like, no, you ain't taping me up and you ain't taping my booty. And no, sir, I don't mean that. I mean, who's in control of the school your kids go to, especially if you ain't skyballing and can afford to send your kids to private school. Let's be clear. This is who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the least of us. Those of us who don't have the resources and the cachet to have it their way in America. Those of us who are 100% capitulating to whatever the system gives us in terms of where they live, how they live, what school their kids go to. None of that is good for black folks. And we know that here. So when I'm talking about the Congressional Black Caucus and they talking about everybody else, it bothers me because your people are still in a dungeon. That's why when we talk about a march for LGBTQ, a march for France, a march for anything, and it's not focused on black, I get frustrated because our people are still suffering on a ridiculous level. You look at the unemployment rate right now for black people, it's going up. Why they talking about, no, the unemployment rate is looking good. For black people, it's going up. Literally, right now. And we want to talk about everything else, Even when I can go deeper. When you talk into the Congressional Black Caucus language, do you know what they talking about? Social Security, health care, veteran benefits. Now, do black people need Social Security? Absolutely. Do black people need health care? Absolutely. Do black people have veterans? Absolutely. But guess what? In all three of those instances, black people are minutia. White people get more Social Security. White people, there's more white people in America. I know we feel ultra important, but we still a small percentage of this place. Veterans, there's more white veterans. So we fighting for something that's all American, as opposed to looking at black systems, black institutions. I keep saying this word ecosystem, system, something that runs by itself, a self-sustaining thing, whatever you want to call it. System, eco, within your own environment, our own. We need our own ecosystems, aside from the ones that's been created for us, from top to bottom. This is what I'm talking about. The systems that we already have in place, the Congressional Black Caucus, first of all. Next, education. Start from HBCUs. Those graduates, you guys go and teach lower schools, from high schools to middle school to elementary to preschool. Those are brightest ones who already have those. Come down instead of just running off to the white ones. And the people that's going to the white, people with the MBAs going to be CEOs for the white ones, absolutely. What are you doing with that money though, bro, sis? Seriously, when are we going to start thinking about each other like how everyone else does? See, when I get on here mad and cussing, everybody points at me and say, you know what? You need to calm down. You're angry. You're not going to reach your people like that. But when I'm being very sensible and saying, why aren't we creating our own ecosystems? What are y'all excuse then? But I'm supposed to keep it under control and just watch us go like this, spiraling down while we acting like it's okay and we're healing. Fuck from around me, man. That's difficult for me in my spirit. This is real authenticity, actual authenticity. It's not here for just funs and games. Everything, and mind you, in my personal life, I'm probably one of the most jovial, for real. I laugh and joke a lot. But about this here, what I see for the future of my children and your children, it ain't looking good. It ain't nothing to play about. Back to the Congressional Black Caucus. Obviously, it's 100% Democrat-led. That right there already puts us at odds with America because everybody's not a Democrat. But we sit up there in this little silo, and whatever the Democrats say, we say, okay. What I'm suggesting is that you find out who your representative is in the Congressional Black Caucus, and we start talking about them instead of giving claps and saying, you go, girl. When Jasmine Crockett is cussing out Trump, say, whoa, 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 but what about the black focus? Because every time they talk about what they focusing on, they start talking about his bullshit policies that's for all of America. That's fine. Let others take care of all of America. We aren't all of America. We are black Americans. When is somebody going to look out for us? Or are we just going to keep on acting like we are so American, and when things go good for America, things are going to go good for us too? Because it's not. It's not. There's no evidence in history, in the entire history of America. None of it has ever said that it's black people are going to be treated fairly. And when things are going good for America, it's going to go down to black people too. There's no point in history. It's just not. Anytime it was us doing it. Revolutionary time, it was us doing it. Industrial Revolution, us. Renaissance time, us. It wasn't white people saying, you know what, these black people are good. We should let them. No, 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 no. It was our own brilliance that got us out. Every time. Every time. Sure, we had help and allies. Duh, absolutely. But be very clear, our it was our self-determination. Our self-determination now, literally, we're determined to stay here. We're determined to burn here, man. That's what our self-determination is. I personally see no self-determination to actually run shit. I mean, run shit. Not just our own homes, but our society around us, man. Are we not interested in running the society around us is what I'm asking. For real, for real. Are we not interested in sending our kids to black schools where there's right education, not just being happy with that, not just being somewhere down south where it's a lot of black people and you send them to a school with nothing, when it's nothing, decrepit, no books type shit. Not that. Not that. Because let's be clear, there is places where it's a lot of blackity black, black, black. And it's still, let's be clear and honest, man. I'm saying build it up. And that's not going to happen by waiting for them to do it. This is my point. And this is why I say the best of us have to be looking out for the rest of us. It has to. It can't just be, I'm just worried about me. I got me a job. My kids taken care of. I'm fine. So that means that we're going to be fine. Yeah, as long as 20 million other families do the same thing, bruh. And that's not how it works. We have to start taking care of each other. And we have to look at the people that's already in position and look at them and say, what are you doing? What are you doing with us? What is our leadership doing for us? Because I don't hear them saying this. I don't hear them saying we need to get away from these people. I hear them saying when the midterms come, you need to vote. Make sure you vote Democrat. And then good luck. We have to look at the evidence. I'm 43. I've lived long enough to see how some of this stuff works. And we have to look at evidence and not just how we feel. That's the point. Okay, let me try to get to a little something a little bit more better. A little bit more better. A little bit more better. But not really. In the Negro news, I don't know what's going on with this gambling stuff, but they racking them up. They racking them up, man. Your man Chauncey Billups, he got arrested. This fool playing poker. I don't know all the details, and I don't know how if he guilty or innocent. I'm hoping he just got caught up like, I'm gonna invite you to this poker game where it's big money, and then when somebody got caught was like, man, why you want little old Umoja? I know an NBA coach, right? And somebody pointed him out. That's what I'm hoping. But it sounds like, man, somebody was like, I got money and I'm inviting other people with money to this poker game, but we about to be cheating them. That's what it sounds like. Weird. It's very weird when you got millions, but what I do know a little bit about is addiction. And if you got addiction problem and you addicted to gambling, ain't no telling what you would do. For real, for real. But they got some other dude, man. I don't know if you don't understand gambling, there's a thing called over and under. So for instance, you'll say, I bet over and under 1 point. So that's saying that I'm going to score at least 2 points to win. Or if I don't get at least 2 points, I lose, right? Or if I get 1 point, it's broken even. So I come into the game and instead of playing the game, I come into the game and immediately be like, shit, I'm injured. So there's no way of me getting my points. But I tell my friends and everybody else like, hey, bet on me that I bet the under. And this fool gets caught. Apparently after the bet they meet at his home and they divvy up the money and everything else. Again, I don't know the details. I'm not involved. It's hilarious and wild. And what I don't think is that it's no attack on black people. Because if it was an attack on black people, the NBA, the NFL, that would have been just disbanded. Like, we'll just start something else and don't let black people in because they have too much money. However, knowing that black people, we don't organize our money together, it's not a problem. Let's give them $100 million contracts. They'll never put their money together and save their people. Hint, hint. But seriously, it's really bad though. While I don't think that is like this is attack on black athletes and everything else, what I do know is that when something's going on and there's a microscope get put on something, you dark skinned it, sir. You dark skinned it. Your voice different. We hear you and see you before everybody. So whatever you think you're doing, yeah, we got something for you, black person. That's just what it is when you've accepted second and third class citizen, which we have. Our grandfathers did, our great grandfathers did. Some of us, enough of us with the loud voices and who was talking to them people have got us all to say, hey, if we just be nice, if we go to their schools, get their education, speak their language, one day we'll be equal. That's what we've been told. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we agreed there because that's what we've been told. That's the lie that we've been told, that everything is going to be just fine and that we go to Americans as long as we do right. Correct? That shit ain't what's going on. Correct? Okay. I ain't gonna take up too much of y'all time, y'all. Straight up. I'm getting straight to the point today. And we gonna finish with my favorite. What is we gonna do? What is we gonna do? I just have suggestions. What keeps coming up, y'all, and the reason why I keep saying the same things, is because for me, they're very important. And I don't hear them outside of my head. I don't hear anybody saying, why aren't we developing a black ecosystem? And then when I say the black ecosystem, when people start to try to argue or pretend like they don't understand, then I break down the ecosystems that we already involved in. For instance, this is a big one, y'all. Seriously, while we talking about the sports gambling, because a black economy is needed, and apparently we don't want to invest in one united bank. I always say that. Put our money in one bank, not just a black bank. Not just thinking, and pause, y'all, because everybody thinks, oh, I can't take my money out of the bank. There's no black bank by me. Yeah. I'm saying take $25, $50, $100 one time and put it in that account. So that's another account. So that they're growing even more. So that there's more funds in there. So that we can fund ourselves. So that when we have business ideas, we can go to that same bank with the cachet of just the people saying, look, we built this bank up. You see that? All around this same 3-6 month time span, we built this bank up even more. This is why we come in here for that type of stuff. We need this school. We need this building here. We need this resort here that's black owned. How are we going to do that if we don't have our money together, y'all? Tell me. You tell me. Are we going to wait for Jay-Z to do it? We're going to wait for Puffy to do it. 50 Cent and them to do it. We're going to wait for LeBron to do it. Or are we going to get our head out our ass, man, and think? And mind you, this is a man who knows that the future is Africa. Like, my future is Africa. Period. Me and mine's gone. Hard stop. But if we're going to be here, why are we not acting like we're intelligent? Why are we not acting like we see? Why are we acting like we don't see? It's like somebody getting cheating on and you just, like, you don't see what the fuck you see. That's how we live in America. Like, we don't see what we see. As long as we can have a good time every now and then, we know we seen that. And we know we seeing you texting in the shower. We know. And then everything's fine. It's not. We got to get real. But that's just me. The black ecosystem. And I say start with the black bank. That's what I say. And then once we do that, we have the cachet to go and force our entertainers, force our black athletes. Why aren't you investing here? Force our black lawyers. We need your law. Because they're going to go against us saying, why are you building all this black stuff? But we're going to use federal lawyers to say, no, we have a history of abuse here. No. We have empirical evidence of this is why we need our own school. We have empirical evidence. This is why we need our own shipping companies. Because we don't know what y'all put in our foods. We don't know how y'all making our clothes. We need our own. But that takes fucking courage, man. That takes courage and hard work. And that's where we drop the ball. And I get blamed when I say you motherfuckers. Y'all just, I'm low hanging fruit. No, listen to him. I just listen to him. Nah, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You sorry some of my bitches. Make sure y'all share the content. For real. Don't be scared. Share this. We need to hear this. Share this. Look up All Black All the Time podcast. Any and everywhere. And show us some grace. Show us some grace. For real. And look towards black shit. Listen to all full podcast episodes wherever you find podcasts.